John Berry, Kenilworth. Really just one thing. I was curious about 196 also, but that was explained. I think people out of work would probably need that service more than someone with a county job, but what do I know? I'm reading off a draft, so I have it as 214, that Balk, Suker, Hatfield in the Edward Henderson case. It might be some other number, or it might not be there, but I'm serious about that. 260. I read the Henderson case. Apparently this detective lost some evidence, and the case was prosecuted successfully with photographs. If I remember correctly, it was a knife, a crack pipe, and a wooden nickel. The detective is looking to get pretty much a week's salary back. At his rate, that's $1,500. So this is something where he wants attorney's fees too, but that's not going to happen. And that's cases like this, you know, judges say go your way. So we're talking $1,500. This is an additional sum of $20,000 in an amount not to exceed $55,000 to defend this case. Some would say give him the $1,500. I mean, this just seems silly. But I have questions about the law firm being used. Balk, Suker, Hatfield, LLC, on two points. First of all, they also have an ongoing contract, and they've had a contract for a couple of years to consult on personnel. Now, it would seem, and I can grasp that possibly you wouldn't want a lawyer on staff to go against a detective in another, inside. I can understand some outside counsel, but this outside counsel apparently consults on personnel issues. And in a worst case scenario, I don't know if he did or not, but couldn't he say to this guy, well, why don't you go sue? And then he winds up defending the county and getting $55,000. It would seem like a conflict. The other conflict is this guy, Richard Balk, gives tens of thousands of dollars to the Union County Democratic Committee. May 18th, 2009, that was $10,000. Lately it's been $600, but with the election it'll probably bump up. And then 2008, when he was brought into a bunch of cases, when he started his own firm, another few thousand, I don't know if it was 5 or 10, but it's a heavy contributor, and the county appears to be one of their major sources of income. Like, it's a 7-person law firm, 3 partners, and they have this safe harbor 401k plan with 2 people, no accounts at all, so it's just kind of startup. But this $55,000 seems like a major source of their, I'm guessing they're billing like $400,000 or $500,000. And it's a case they shouldn't have. It seems like they have it just because of some connections. So that's basically the question. And I don't know if your answer, but how is this guy connected, and why isn't he excluded? Because he's not only contributing, but also consulting on personnel for the county under a separate contract, which seems like a conflict to me. So I hope I explained that well. That was it.
It's absolutely not a conflict. They don't advise personnel in terms of individual people in the county. They're advisors to the county administration. They and other personnel counsel that have been named by the county are often called upon to prosecute personnel actions that are brought by the county against the board. So they're exactly on the same side of the fence that they're always on, which is representing the interests of the county. And in fact, represented the county in this disciplinary action. Besides the litigation, which I would point out is litigation that's been initiated by Mr. Henderson, not by the county, and we're defending it. Beyond that, I won't make comments on the ongoing litigation, but there's a lot more involved in that than just this 1 week pay, especially if, as you said, some people recommend just turn around and give them $1,500. That could have caused us a lot more problems than could be anticipated. Secondly, from my experience, I've been here now 7 years. Richard Bausch, Mr. Zucker, and Catherine Hatfield are excellent attorneys. I recommended them. I highly recommend them. They are a very qualified firm. They represent us in personnel matters. They represent us in labor negotiations. And they do so as a result of participating in a fair and open process. They are a qualified firm through that process, and they're absolutely entitled to be awarded a contract when we deem it appropriate. And under that fair and open process, there's absolutely no prohibition against them participating in the political process if they choose, by any means they choose, in terms of whether it's contributions in kind or contributions monetarily.
Pardon?
Would you wrap up your comments, please?
How can I wrap up? You know, I got the rest of my life because that's what they have health benefits for. So, I mean, I can comment all I want here. Because these people,
Sir, your 5 minutes are up.
well, then you're going to have to throw me out. Because I'm really mad at this. I'm really mad at you guys for giving 650
You don't
people.
usually behave this way, but I will.
Because I'm mad.
Well, you
Because you should have
can.
never did it.
You can.
Never did it. Especially the
But
Judah
there's no
freehold.
excuse for you standing up there behind your time. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
You look so disappointed. John Berry, Kenilworth. Just getting back to a couple of points. There are a lot of qualified attorneys. I don't know the particulars of the Henderson case, and there might be some valid reason, but it really stretches the imagination to think that it'd be worth saving face or whatever. You know, $55,000 would be worth it. And couple this with the fact that 10,000 of that is probably going to be coming over to the Union County Democratic Committee any day now. The health insurance doesn't bother me. You're probably going to lose their pensions anyway. I mean, it's clueless. And the health insurance, you give it, might have been a good idea. They're going to be taken away arbitrarily a year or so anyway.
Poorly by members of the public, but you know, every time someone gets up and shakes their head or their finger at us for using professional services who contribute to the Democratic Committee, I'm acutely aware that many, if not all, also contribute to the Republican Party. So I say, if you're going to comment, be honest about it and give us both sides of the story.